Hi, Laura DiGiulio, movement and manual therapist at Sensory Motor Education. I am going to show you a variation of bridge, not really a variation, but something that you can do in bridge to highlight the glutes, to get the hamstrings out of the equation. Typically what I find in my practice is that hamstrings are kind of overworking either for the deep core or for glute max. So to do bridge, getting the hamstrings out, focusing a little more on glutes and control of the position of the pelvis, this is what you're gonna do. So you're gonna set up in your typical bridge with feet on the floor, knees about hip distance apart or slightly wider, depending on kind of where you wanna hit. I like my heels to be just outside my hips. So pick a distance away that you like, that you're comfortable with. The first thing that you're gonna do when you enter this bridge is not throw your hips up in the air. You're first going to right the position of your pelvis. So I like to tip my pelvis forward to create a big arch, and then all the way back to flatten my back into the floor. And then I want to find the middle. So I want to find the space in between an anterior tilt and a posterior tilt and maintain that space. So a nice, I guess for lack of a better term, neutral pelvis. So I'm going to find that space, I'm going to maintain that space. Before I lift my hips, I'm going to press my feet in the floor and try to slide them away from my butt. So they're not actually going to slide, so make sure that you don't have socks on, for example. So you're going to imagine sliding your feet away from your glutes, and then you're going to lift the hips up into the air. And so what typically happens for me in a bridge, especially if I'm weighting it, is if I don't slide my heels away, I get cramping in my hamstrings. That's for a completely other reason, but what that tells me is that my hamstrings are jumping in and not so much my glutes. So if I was gonna weight this like in a hip thrust, a really heavy hip thrust, which for me, I want that to focus on my glutes, then that action of pushing the feet away really helps me to focus on the glutes a little. So you right the position of the pelvis, nice strong neutral spine, whatever that is for you. I like to press my arms kind of into the ground to engage my lat and my mid back a little bit. And then I push my feet away. I maintain that push away as I lift my glutes up off the floor. And then drop and reset, or you can hold up there, whatever you kind of like. Try that out, compare it to how you would regularly get up into a bridge or a hip thrust position and see how that feels, see if you get a different focus.